big thanks for having us here, cross-border, and as well LogiCommerce. I think it's a very nice way to do it. Both the event we have had yesterday and then opening also for different markets, especially for us. These countries are not well, let's say, penetrated. We don't know them too much, and I think it's maybe also vice versa. So the e-commerce market from here do not know and understand the potential of the Nordics. So I will try to bridge it a bit today and maybe bring some insights to everyone. Yep. So next up, the Nordics. Why do we believe Nordics are the right location for the e-commerce business? Just introducing myself, I'm managing the direct link site located in Poland since more than 4 years. Before, I've been working for almost 15 years with other Swedish companies, so knowing a bit the habit and the way how they work, I moved on to direct link and then building this site in Poland, having different services with support of PostNord infrastructure. Before we will go into the details, also a couple of words about the PostNord, which is the largest provider of logistic network solution across the Nordics, and it has also the biggest geographical coverage when it comes to logistic operation across the entire Nordics. It may not looks like, but if you look on the size-wise on the geographic coverage for the Nordic countries, it's almost like to get from, for example, from Poland up to end of the Italy. So it's a similar distance if you go from north of the Norway to the shore of Denmark, south close to the Baltic Sea. So it's a quite huge geographical area, which makes it very tough to reach every customer over there. So this also generated kind of solutions Scandinavians implemented. I will also touch upon later on. Direct Link as a part of PostNord has been opened since 1986, and we delivered every day on the daily basis to 190 countries across the globe. It may not be so obvious, but due to the fact that we are a daughter company of PostNord, created to serve customers being located outside of the Nordics. So customers being originated in the Nordics are handled by PostNord, but due to the distance connections and market knowledge, they decided to create a direct link to basically take care about the customers living outside the Nordics. And we do that. Every day we ship and deliver to 190 countries across the globe. This is mainly related to the postal services, where we have a natural connection through the PostNord. But we, along the last 10 years, seeing that the postal market is evolving very much, so it's decreasing, and then e-commerce market is growing. PostNord has decided to transform itself in order to fulfill those demands. And now all of the logistic hubs, trucks, and final couriers are equipped and ready to handle e-commerce parcels across the Nordics. We also support customers with fulfillment services. We have those centers in North America, Asia, and also in Poland, in Poznań. Mainly we do it for our customers, but it's open and visible to everyone. We support our partners with market insight knowledge. So on the quarterly basis, we publish reports with details about not only Nordic markets, but also European countries, where they can learn and understand about the customer behaviors and different delivery methods, payment transactions, different customers in different countries may prefer to use. So it's not only delivery, it's also additional services and support with the market knowledge. Today I will touch upon about the customer behaviors in 4 countries, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway, which seems to be treated as a one market. But nevertheless, if you will see some statistical data, and data is based on Statistica reports available openly to everyone, you may recognize, or you will recognize, I will raise that, some differences between the countries. So it's important that even if we think we go to the Nordic as a market, there are some specifics between the countries it is worth to understand before entering that market. First of all, we observe, I think this is quite in common to also other markets, that since a couple of years back and also in the future, we see and expect grow when it comes to e-commerce market. We all experienced with last 2 years hiccup with the COVID effect, and then learn how to overcome that with last year with the slower volumes. But as you can see, during this year, we will almost reach or recover the same level as we've been experiencing the biggest volume year, 2021. What is actually interesting that for the coming 3 years, we're expecting to grow by 10% with the Nordic countries, and then we will continue with 5% grow year by year. So I do not exclude any impact of the inflation over here, but I would say that it's if you bet your money for e-commerce, then there is for sure good return with some dividends on it. I think the trend itself, yeah. This one might be specific to country to country or region to region, but for sure, 22, everyone recognized the slowdown when it comes to the revenue volumes, whatever you count it. But this is based on the Statistica, so they gather independent data. So it's nothing we actually generated ourselves. So it's also available with European Union reports. So I think it's you can trust it easily. What is interesting over here, because when we prepared that presentation, I was trying to reflect to the Spanish market, at least to give you some feedback when it comes to how to compare that. And I don't know if you know it, but this year, the Nordic countries' revenue will represent about 25 to 30% higher revenue than Spanish market, e-commerce market. So higher. So even having lower population, because we're talking about 25 million people over there, Nordic countries spend 25 to 30% more on e-commerce than customers in Spain. So this is just to present you some opportunities. It's not coming from volumes. Our biggest sales pitch when we come to our merchants is, guys, no one complain profitability or margin levels when they enter Nordic countries, because customers over there, when they believe for the product, where they can understand it, see it, see the quality, the prescription, of course, in the local language and so on, they will basically pay the money which is described over there. It's completely different than Polish market I came from, where typical Pole will go to the net and they will see, okay, which price is the lowest price. So, over there, you build the trust based on how you present your product. It's not how what is the price level. Of course, if it's above the sky limit, they can imagine, they will not go for it. But it's also in the roots from the past that they always been trading with other countries, because this was an island. They became as a Vikings, of course, fighting, but also trading with the goods. If you think about the Nordics, there is not too much of industry, of manufacturing sites where they build something prepared. They move it away from the Nordics to the other lower cost countries. So it's very much natural for them, and I will also show that on the later slide, that they buy cross-border because there is not enough goods on that local market. For them, going for Danes or Swedes go to Germany for shopping, it's like, okay, afternoon trip, let's go. We just go to big malls and then buy something, sometimes because of the lower cost. To be honest, mainly driven by alcohol purchases, so they can see the difference, with the huge difference with the cost. So this creates kind of the habit and no blockage with regards to buying cross-border. So they are very much upfront when it comes to cross-border purchases. We can see that over here, for example. So the Sweden is always ahead of the volumes, revenue, whatever we will see it over here, because it's the biggest population. And they are kind of driving the habits across the Nordics. So for example, as you can see over here, from 2019 to 2022, they grew up almost twice when it comes to the cross-border purchases. Of course, this has been driven by the COVID time as well, but it basically means that almost half of Nordic population buys cross-border. Half of the revenue generated, this is the right one, half of the revenue generated through the e-commerce channels is generated from cross-border transactions. Yes, so this basically means that if you are able to present the product, ideally with their language, they don't care where do they buy it. If there is a well-known brand, then if it's bought, on this marketplace, on other ones, whatever it stays, it's originated from, they are fine with it. Yeah, marketplaces itself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. So actually, Amazon failed in Sweden, I would say. Yes. Not me to judge if it's right or wrong, but they basically, how it was explained, they basically translate their website using Google Translator and presenting offensive, when they translate that to Swedish, it went like, okay, not the proper information supposed to be there. So, but there is a very, very strong history of the local marketplaces and very high penetration. I will also mention a couple of them on the further slides. I think Nordic population is not too much different to the other ones. So first three product categories are related to fashion, electronics, and do-it-yourself kind of products. All of the product group segments are forecasted to grow for another 4 or 5 years. A part of media presented over here, but media in the understanding of distributing the catalog materials using typical postal services like letters. So it's like more like a printed material delivered to the homes. So catalogs of different big retailers. This is going to disappear based on the data presented over here. If we go further country by country, trying to see how this market looks like, where the local customers go for when they place their orders. We decided to present 10 top e-shops each country. But it's worth to mention that even if you aggregate them, they do not represent more than between 5 and 10% of the local spend on e-commerce. So even they are significant, there is much more different channels where local people spend money on e-commerce. Something which is unique for Sweden is that number one e-shop is actually pharmaceutical. So Swedes, instead of going to the local shop with for some pills, they will go and order that through web shop. This is so much developed through the local registration, but also through the habits. So they basically order it delivered to home. Yeah, but I think it also comes to the fact that they find a way to sell it, the things they can do it. So if there is a special prescription for the drugs, then most likely you need to go and have that prescription. What is? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 So interesting. They are bigger than H&M, which is like 10 plus years old clothing company, even more. And you can see with top 10, there is also on the 7th position another pharmaceutical e-shop. So this is actually unique for Sweden. You will not find it on other countries. So Sweden is ahead of this transformation when it comes to e-commerce. So first marketplace, El Giganten, local marketplace. And then you can see on the 5th position, Zalando. So far after the local one. You have not seen over here even the Amazon, so it's not presented in top 10. What we actually observed during last year, because these are the numbers from last year, is actually that first time in history in top 10, you could see also Asian goods retailer. So this is something which is actually which we can see on the local markets. This change is following. We also delivered huge volumes to the Nordics for Asian retailers. Whoa! You're counting from the original time? Okay. So I will try to focus maybe on some specifics. Denmark, if you look on the numbers, this one and those one, it's like half of the revenue, but it's also half of population. So this is correlation you may see. much bigger position of marketplaces, Zalando, El Giganten as well, and local players. Also, Shane visible over here. Norway, interesting very much because when it comes to revenue with top 10, they are closer to Sweden than Denmark. So even they have similar population as Denmark, they are almost on the level of Swedes. So this means they are even far away. So it's hard to reach to them with the normal shops and so on. So they prefer e-commerce even more. For example, when we look on the volumes we distribute for Asian big players, there is more volumes for Norway than for Sweden. This is because maybe it's easier to reach them over there to the Norway because it's a low-cost product, so it's also low duties and so on. We can even avoid that, but it's only shows the opportunity related to that country. And Finland, at the end, very much concentrated with the local players. So you can see only Zalando here on 4th position, and then the top ones are the local. Couple of words about the payments. Nordic countries, they prefer to there is almost no transaction made by cash on delivery. No one pays with deliveries. We don't even present this as a service for the customers where we actually deliver their goods. I think this will be the last one to present. The way how the Nordic countries like to receive the products. Very much tendency, the same tendency in Sweden, Finland, and Norway. If you sum it up, more than 70% of population like to get their products touchless, to not meeting the courier, either through service point or parcel machines. And the amount of parcel machines and service points through the Nordics is the biggest per capita if you look for entire Europe. Of course, volume-wise, it's a smaller numbers than, for example, in Poland, but there is like half of population versus Poland. So you see the number of service points and machines, it's so much more condensed per capita. Denmark is slightly different. They like home delivery. So nowhere here you see home delivery, but without signature. So something unusual. They are okay if you leave the goods in front of their door. No one will touch it. No one will steal it. It just stays there after they are back from work. Denmark, no, they like to get it. It's also related to the fact that country itself is much smaller. So it's easy to deliver it, and it's do not present such a cost when it is, for example, in Sweden, Finland, or Norway. This is the last one for me to present. Beside the fact that if you like to get more details, you just scan the pictures, and then you will get the report through our web. Then on the quarterly basis, it's also refreshed, so you can see the news on the regular basis. Very much encouraging you to look for this market. It's far away, but I found it out that amazingly our merchants, 3-4 years in a row, they can still present double-digit growth with regards to volumes we delivered. So very much interesting, also almost not seen anywhere else. I think we in Poland are a bit similar to Spain, where the markets or industry is on the development path. So we have products with the good quality and reasonable cost. So instead of competing in-house in our country land, we could, if we go cross-border, then I think we can gain much, much more. And for me, going in Poland, everyone thinks going cross-border would be, okay, let's go to Germany. But then this is the toughest market in Europe. No, because it's biggest. Okay. You know, amount of returns. And so the Nordics, another point, it's the lowest number of returns across entire Europe. So not comparable to anywhere. So yeah, at least give a try. If you need any support, welcome to contact us. Thank you.